It's also important to understand that sometimes, even if you would like to say the truth, even if your words are true, but it's not always the right point in time to speak the truth to someone. That can mean if somebody at this moment in time is very much emotionally charged. Something just happened in a few minutes ago. Sometimes it's not good to even use true words in such circumstances. So right speech doesn't only mean using words that don't hurt anyone. It also means using words at the right time with the right understanding. The right understanding that there are times where it's useful and there are other times where it's pretty much out of place. This is also belonging to a type of understanding that we would like to cultivate in ourselves, under that category of right speech. So to bring it back into perspective, what is it that I would suggest for next year? What are you supposed to do right now? Give yourself a lecture. Give yourself a guideline that you are now trying to put it into practice. This guideline is that Noble Eightfold Path. So that means every day, think about what does right understanding mean to me. One way to do it is just do some research. What does right understanding mean? Based on that research, go back to yourself, look out in the world and try to understand what does right understanding mean. And then the next step, and what does the right understanding right now has to do with myself of which thoughts, what thoughts, and how are thoughts being created inside myself? So how does the way of how much you understand about this world affects the way of what type of thoughts are you cultivating? After you are starting to investigate of where your thoughts are coming from, you this time pay attention during that week everywhere where you're going. Take care about what is leaving your mouth. In which tone are you talking to people? What type of vocabulary are you using speaking with people? How is the intonation while you are talking to people? That means become aware of what is it that you are transmitting in the moment you are opening the mouth. Not necessarily what is it that you would want to transmit. First of all, also observe yourself. How does what is leaving your mouth is being communicated and is being understood by other people? Because it's not important what you mean by your words. It's important how does the other one understand it, what you just said. And that means a lot of misunderstanding can also be, let's say, reduced in the moment where you just become more aware of the impact of your words. And right speech integrates parts of what I just said right now. So being aware of what is it that you are saying. And all of them merge together with that ethical conduct that you do not want to harm others, neither with your thoughts nor with your speech. So then afterwards, the following points, for example, the right behavior. It almost goes without saying that first we are thinking something, then we are talking about it, then we are doing the things. So same goes here. Now pay attention to the actions that you are putting within the next year into the daily being. Because it's another 365 years where a type of conditioning is taking place. And this conditioning is consisting of the actions that you are doing, the habits that you are having, the behavior that you are putting towards others. Which then means the right livelihood. Right livelihood meaning, how are you earning actually your possibilities of living this life? I think in that time where that Noble Eightfold Path was developed, it also meant, for example, that if you have the ethical conduct to not harm too many beings, the right livelihood would quite a lot be in conflict of being a butcher. The right livelihood meaning, by the way of how you are making your living, are you causing harm along this way? Are you causing harm along this profession, let's say? And now you must understand that this type of guideline, this type of Noble Eightfold Path is like centuries old. So what does it mean? It means that a lot of experience went into these type of statements. That means even if you are taking care of your right understanding, taking care of the right speech, taking care of the right thought, taking care of your right actions, but still you are embedded in a surrounding that by profession is causing harm, it's still at the end somehow difficult to really fully commit to that path. And this is now my interpretation why I think right livelihood does play an important role within the normal daily life. Because you can be and say that you're a really, let's say, person that doesn't want to cause harm. But then you must make it from beginning until end without any excuses in between, which also involves, therefore, the right livelihood. Yes. So number 6 is the right effort, meaning you know the path, you know what needs to be done. And sometimes doing the right things is a difficult thing to do, because it's not always what naturally arises. It is something that you need to condition yourself in. It is something you need to train yourself in doing so. And therefore I think right effort meaning to continuously pay attention and have patience in fulfilling and trying to put this type of guidelines into your daily life. Now, right concentration, meaning to be aware of where you are focusing your energy. That is already like beneficial if you just try to put as much as you understand from these paths into your daily life. But nevertheless, if somebody really wants to know what does it mean, you need to do the research. Yeah, you cannot really just rely on, let's say, my interpretation, because that's exactly what it is. It is my understanding of how these wordings do have a meaning in my life. how I put them into practice. Yes, but I'm very sure that there is way more to each of these sentences. But that is dependent on where is somebody standing right now. Somebody who's just starting this path, he has one type of understanding. Somebody who already knows these type of guidelines, who already knows them for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, some decades, who already practiced them for some decades, he has another understanding with them. Yes, it's just that this path is like showing you off if there is something to adjust within your life. Which are the areas to adjust? And that means adjust first of all. Do you have the proper understanding in what you as a human being at the moment are embedded in? Meaning, if you think this world is about you, think again. Maybe you misunderstood something. That's why the right understanding is something very, very fundamental for everything else to follow. Yes? Then afterwards, after let's say you understand, okay, let's just assume I understand or I can see apparently that there is a connection between us humans, between the people that you are dealing with. Let's just assume there is a connection. If there's a connection, merge together with the ethical conduct that you do not want to harm, which would normally automatically arise in the moment where you feel the connection. Then it means in the way of how I am thinking, in the way how I am talking, I do not want you to get any harm from that. So that means watch exactly what type of thoughts are you cultivating towards your colleagues at work. You regard them as being colleagues, that you are all working on the same mission, let's say. You're all pulling on the same rope, or you're regarding yourself being surrounded between your colleagues and this is about competing. These are moments where a thought can arise. Afterwards, same with the speech, same with the actions. Coming once again to the way how you are earning your daily life. And now the other 3 areas that we think need some improvement is the way, first of all, are you meditating? Do you have inside your daily life a meditative practice? In meditative practice, you find plenty of ways and plenty of explanations how to either get started with it or even to just get a glimpse of why would it be necessary to integrate this meditation inside of you. And meditation is the practical way. It's the practical way to start and see more. Why to meditate? To bring clarity to your life. What to do when I have clarity in my life? I start to see things better and therefore start once again to understand things better. So there you right now, for example, can see that meditative practice is very closely related also to the amount of how and what you are understanding. This is why it's not the chronology of steps that somebody is going through. All of this at the same time, as much commitment as you would like, as much effort as you would like to put into this type of practices. But since, let's say, people were asking, so I don't know what to do. What should I do? That is the traditional Buddhist guideline of starting the path. and afterwards only come one sentence that maybe people have read before. There are only two mistakes along this way. You are not starting this one, or you are not bringing this one to the end.